God's foot on your neck. Anything you set your hand to do, just do it the best. I told you I'm the illest lyricist, I prove it to death. If you ain't standing up for niggas, then you muted to death. I got some niggas in the grave that could be using your breath. True, and that's a fact, it's not the 2 Chainz quote. Break a record, fucking track up like them Usain Bolt. Little rapping niggas, they garbage beat. Pardon me, it's the art in me, but they talking funny like Cardi B. Nah, but hella shit they ain't dropped yet. My homies worldwide like .org.net. And we stay sharp, we smart, and that's cause we studious. We come with fire, with mountain work, and Vesuvius. Covering all bases. Preaching all black, they come from the hard places. Where my home, they be deep in the hood like a mechanic trying to make sure they people is good. Where my home, independent in the struggle, focused on the hustle with the cipher and the huddle. Where my home, in every city. Where my home, let's get it lit shit. Know who you spitting with, not on that official shit. Professional with spitting and ripping, king of the British shit. I'm right up at the neck of opponents and hit the crystal. I spit it like them rounds on the chopper, and that's the pistol grip. Rapping with succession, if I spit it, you should listen. That's what that strong-minded, well-rounded shit you didn't spit. It's motor oil, you flow with oil, you all that chicken shit. Oil over here, you order, but we ain't mixing with UPK strong, UPK pop. Yo, I play the cut, listening and watch. I'm frame of mind ancient in your frame of mind pride. I'm thinking like the niggas that hated picking the cotton. Every time I spit it, I'm trying to take out the top dog. When we in the cypher, it sound like we letting shots off. But I hit the range cause my record clean and I'm not soft. What I do, eat the beat and drown it with hot sauce. Rapping so many years, niggas can't figure this nigga out of modern day fucking antithesis. Rapping disappeared, I'm just trying to make it clear. Everybody trying to get on like me or my man visitor. My presence when I'm rapping made him fucking ban Christian. Your presence, nigga, you rapping like a fucking ventriloquist. We run the world like Ferdinand Magellan. I say with my homies, we melting like St. Helen. Where my homie, covering all bases, preaching all black, they come from the hard places. Where my homie, they be deep in the hood like a mechanic trying to make sure the people's is good. Where my homie, independent in the struggle, focused on the hustle and the cipher and the huddle. Where my homie, in every city. Where my homie, let's get it litty, niggas.
About what? What did he do? Right. You should have just told him. You should have said, "I'm not even a."
I guess.
What most high Christ for you now?
All my niggas ride for me. I got niggas that'll die for me. You niggas ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you won't bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood'll get spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. When you ain't built like that. You niggas ain't built like that. You was never on the block, you ain't never dodge a knock. You ain't never fought another crew holding down the park. You ain't swam with the sharks, you ain't wrestled with the gators. You was never fucking popping, you ain't got no fucking haters. Bitch, niggas like you make me watch out for the traitors. When you round some real niggas, mind your behavior. I will beat a nigga ass, then I'm laughing like I'm Jada. Get your fucking mind blown like a cartridge on a Sega. You niggas want attention, they don't want the war though. Talking all that shit, but you got a glass
your hoe, they never deliver. They got that DiGiorno, this that Walking Dead flow. I eat a rapper torso. You ain't the same man once you off the microphone. You ain't never broke a bone, you ain't never had a scar. You a certified pussy, so don't make me pull your card. I'm a certified prophet, respected like the word of God. Cause you ain't got the heart, nigga, you ain't got the heart. You ain't about to finish any beef that you start. You ain't never been a soldier, little nigga, play your part. Claiming that you'll spark when you ain't got the heart. Cause you niggas ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you won't bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood'll get spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. When you ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you won't bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood'll get spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that. Cause niggas get killed like that.
All my niggas ride for me. All my niggas ride with me. I got niggas that'll die for me. All my niggas ride with me. You niggas ain't.
Know what it is, I mean, you ain't gotta pay no price of buying no corners.
Since when do we buy corners? We take corners.
Man, you won't buy one way or another. Whether it's if the bodies we don't lost or you're gonna lose. Time in the joint is behind us or ahead of us. I mean, you gonna get some shit in this game, but ain't shit for free. I mean, how many corners do we need? How much money can a nigga make?
More than a nigga can spend.
And then we ain't gonna be around to spend what we done made already.
Shit, I think I can be around this long.
Yeah. Well, we here.
Yeah. I know a nigga murked his own man cause he was fucking on his bitch. He got booked, now she's sick. She out here sucking all these. Told my young boy to chill cause he was hitting all these licks. Now he resisting, now we 6 feet. He was thinking with his dick. Better hearken, youngin' man. I'm dropping gems, they call me old school. Gon' fed on the gram and who you shot and who you gon' shoot. 600-page indictment, nigga, what you gon' do? Up top with them lifers, you don't fight, all you do is shoot. I know them crackers mad as hell because they wanna see us dead. Plotting all the miles, holding counsel just to stay ahead. This one was just forever. We gon' paint them nations red. If you not under this banner, then you all dudes mad. Man, I'm from the trenches, they ain't know it, show us love. All we know is extensions in the way you throw a slug. We done made a move on you and we don't care who it was. On the gram, I saw my youngest send a nigga up above. You would've thought me and the squad was fatigue, how we run shit. Better yet, that saw block. Better yet, that saw strip. My general said if it's not one West, then it's not legit. Fuck every cracker, go to their grave and go and take a piss. Mama, I'm an Israelite, I'm pulling strings like Santana. Gotta keep the blitz because in that mix it get bananas. I adapted to it. Right before the skis and went bandanas. I'm the big bad wolf, come down your chimney like I'm Santa. Pussy niggas said that they was gon' slide, but they ain't do shit. Got a couple hammers in the ride, don't make me bang shit. Got a couple crackers on my mind, I'm trying to hang shit. Yeah, I'm in the field, I'm still pissed about the slave ships. Daniela got some big shit to make a rain flip. This pump turn you to an acrobat with these backflips. Mom said 12s at you questions, but not say shit. Mom said those neighbors at you questions, but not say shit. I'm true to this, ask your old head, I ain't new to this, I'm too legit. There's one West world and we running this, I'm gunning it. Advise every cracker to be intelligent, irrelevant. For all them fake cans that we ain't marching with. This clip that I got like holy water, I'm trying to throw it on you. You pledge your allegiance to them snakes, they turn for you on you. Pillhead / crash dumps, I keep it real with you. You told me you don't trust none of them niggas and that's a real issue. I don't give a fuck, you wouldn't be from what you all did. That before the sign, the same words that Paul said. Clip full of racist motherfuckers, it got bald heads. This shit that I got dumping at your ears like some skull heads. Why you trying to claim the same right that your man's did? Y'all was sign lacking, main reasons why your guys did. Always gotta keep one in the head before I go to bed. Fuck a DJ Khaled, this one West, this what God did, nigga. One West world. Nah, we coming, nigga. Not tripping. Tighten the fuck up, you heard?
All jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, I'm this and that for life. I'm on West for life, nigga, this a blood oath. Hey, yo, Madara, here go a class for you, my nigga. 140 for the rebel. The world turned its back on me. I'm a cripple. We got soldiers, he got soldiers, but I got different ones. Ain't no way out, I'll tell you once. Don't pray for nothing, sin and curse. We can't forgive what's forbidden. Remain in them trenches. Trust in the Lord, but please forgive me for the times that I did. If rank is given, have your respect to your apprentice. Be about your business. This loyalty's a death sentence. Look, trying to pick up with a blind fit. They said there'll be many mansions. I'm just grinding for my time share. Them devils ain't playing fair. They hunt you like Van Pelt. But ain't no getting out the game like Jumanji. You take that oath, it's a Dundee. They try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand. Just make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times and it's death do us part. No. So how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people go disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name. So you better keep it on. Ain't no more guessing. Ain't no more questions. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jetson. Murder for capital Nines, murder at the Capitol. The world in amazement, we like fuck 'em, raise it, raise it. I pity those watching life as it go by. Be giving mercy in this life, I don't know why. In pump smoke, never try to. The dead at home, my brother be the dead, that's all I know. It's a photo, salute my nigga, salute my nigga. They like, how you stay focused? I told them I'm motivated cause of you, my nigga. Brotherhoods and weapons, still got weapons on the scene. Now I never do my niggas like Bishop did Raheem. Never mind in all beliefs, they under anesthesia. Shorty say she leave me, say she wanna let that love go. Told I let that love grow. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blood oath. So, how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people gon' disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Yeah, yeah.
Hey.
Slaka, thank you for letting me know I was muted. Water. This is the ISUBK. We started on 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commander Johnny Hanna, and we teach that the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true children of the Bible, and that it is our will and our obligation to teach and to do these commandments so we can get back into our rightful power. And of course, what's up? Oh yeah, come on. Absolutely, I got you. You know what I mean? And the first scripture we always go to when dealing with the law is Matthew 5:17. And now while the brothers get in there, get that, to give a shout out to the Passover that happened in North Carolina this past weekend. You know what I mean? It was very glorious. I love seeing everybody there, putting in my work in. You know what I mean? Standing for Hebrew Academy, and just another year. And a lot of Christians don't understand the meaning of the Passover. You know what I mean? The Passover is one of the greatest holidays that the Lord has set for us. When he unalived the firstborn of all the Egyptians, you know what I mean, of everything in that vicinity, and he spared the Israelites. All right, Officer Carl, you want to say something?
Sir, I just wanted to say, you know, what you're saying is so heavy about the Passover because, you know, we were being, you know, tested the entire time with the Passover as far as, you know, different things going on. You know, I can tell, you know, people that are still Christian, you know, or even the oppressor does not want us, you know, having a Passover and serving the Lord the way we do. Exactly. And, you know, we still came out there, you know, and brothers really got together and did what we had to do, especially for the neighborhood. And, you know, North Carolina that we went to when we did a food drive and we did a clothing drive, you know, for that neighborhood. And the people were very appreciative of it. And they even, you know, showed, you know, how appreciative they actually were. So I just wanted to touch on that because Commander General Yohana always sends us out to do the right things and feed the sheep. And not only did we have the Passover, we actually were able to go out and, you know, I want to sound Christian, but minister to the people. And it wasn't just with, you know, words that were just, you know, light and fluffy. It was with actual substance.
Right.
People needed clothes, we gave them clothes. People needed food, we gave them food. So, you know, I just thank the Most High we're able to do that for our brothers and sisters because that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. Now, if a brother wants to read that verse for me, we go and do it. All right, Khan.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17.
Right.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Right. So, of course, we all know that if y'all been to this class before, we always go over this. Think not, meaning don't even put that in your head that Christ is coming to destroy the law or the prophets. You know what I mean? Keep going.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
He's not going to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. Keep going.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass,
right,
one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
Right. It says till heaven and earth pass. So heaven and earth is still here as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? So this law still stands. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Till all be fulfilled. Verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of the least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
That person is going to be called least in the kingdom of heaven. So if you teach men to break the law and to not do them, you're going to be called least in the kingdom of heaven. And who primarily does that? The entire world teaches us to not obey the laws of God. The world does it. You know what I mean? Start from the Christian church to your Muslim mosque to Buddha and to any other religion out there. You know what I mean? They all teach against Christ and what Christ came to do. They all teach against the Bible. Keep going.
The same, Salakia, but whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Right. And there's only one spot that I know that does and teaches them, and that is the ISUBK under Commander Johnny Yohana. We teach to do the commandments, and we teach other men to do the commandments also, because we know the truth of this matter. You know what I mean? All right, drop that. Can you hold for me? Let me get my notes real quick. Can you bring my notes up? Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. Now, I was originally going to title this class, "The Path to Freedom is Warfare." You know what I mean? Because we have to fight for our survival. We have to fight to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. I mean, every day it's a fight. You know what I mean? And it starts in our mind at first. For example, at my slavery, I walk around with my chain, with my shield of David on, right? And so we had a new hire. His name is Kanye. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kanye. And he looked and he recognized the shield of David. He was like, "Yo, you a black Israelite?" and stuff like that. I said, "Yeah, what you know about that?" He said, "I know a little bit, you know what I mean? I recognize the symbol and stuff like that. That's who we are." You know what I mean? So I was like, damn. And the boy's like 21, you know what I mean? And so he started asking me all these different kind of questions, you know what I mean? He was like, of course, the main one is like, does God love everybody? Why does God hate a certain people? You know what I mean? Blase, blase, blase. So I led him to this verse right here in the book of Deuteronomy 7:6. If our brother has it, they can start reading.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Right.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Exactly. You know what? And you know, one of the greatest moments that you teaching somebody is that like the aha moment and the shock on their faces. You know what I mean? Because when I read it to him, he was like, "Yo, bro, that's crazy. I never read that before." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. The Christian church has deceived us plenty of times." You know what I mean? And then he just kept going over and over. And the next day, he was like, "Yo, I've been reading this nonstop." He's like, "Yo, Jay." He called me by my slave name, but he like, "Yo, Jay, I can't stop thinking about this. It's effing my mind up right now." I said, "I know." And there's a lot more to it. You know what I mean? It's like, and this is what Christ has come to do. Now, I mean, he has to bring you back to these laws, statutes, and commandments because of what Christianity has done to us. You know what I mean? Christianity has ruined our mindset. And now we think we know something about the Bible when we actually don't. What the Christians are teaching are lies that come down from slavery to keep you in slavery. You know what I mean? So that's why, that's why I had to title this class, "The Path to Freedom is Warfare," because now this young brother's mind is battling the Christianity that he was always been taught. You know what I mean? Now he's looking, now he's reading, you know what I mean? Now he's figuring out if this is really true or not. He's like, "Yo, Jay, I've been reading my Bible all week." You know what I mean? Trying to understand this. I was like, "Yeah, that's right. That's right. As you should." You know what I mean? Just don't take my word for it. And I mean, keep on studying and come to me with all your questions. You know what I mean? And then he told me about how he has the Bible with the white man's commentary under it. I said, "Nah, you don't need none of that, man, because they gonna screw you up. Just get the regular King James version, read it to yourself, and come to me with your questions." You know what I mean? And I invited him out. Right, I invited him out to class and everything. You know what I mean? So hopefully I break through to him. You know what I mean? I start chipping out little by little. You know what I mean? But can you read that verse for me again? Call Officer Call.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Right.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Right. And I also forgot one part, because we was talking about how God is racist. You know what I mean? And so this is where I brought him to. You know what I mean? Like, does this sound like racism? It sound like favoritism to me? It sound like racism to me. If you choose all these other nations, right, and you pick one nation to be a special people upon yourself, upon the whole earth, that right there is favoritism, and that right there is a form of racism. You know what I mean? So then he starts asking me, you know what I mean? What are the sorry, slacking for the cough, y'all. And he starts asking me, what are the purpose for the other nations? And I said, that is an excellent question, and we are going to get to that. Can you finish reading for me, Officer Call?
Sir. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are on the face of the earth.
Right, go ahead.
Salaki, if I could.
Uh-huh.
What you're saying about the brother, you said his name was Kanye.
Yeah.
What you're saying about the brother is so heavy. You know, what you explaining to him that commentary is no good.
Right.
Because a while back, I know this has been brought up before, but the last person I remember having a class, Officer Dashayim had, let it be known. It was either Officer Dashayim, it could have been, but pretty much that the King James version of the Bible is a, word for word translation.
Exactly.
And then the other versions of the translations are a thought for thought, what their commentary is, or rather what they think is being said.
Absolutely.
And we know this oppressor does not know the spirit of the Most High, Christ, or the Word. So they're going to put certain things in there that are incorrect and can have you following a whole bit different doctrine. So it's heavy that you was able to, bring that to that brother and educate and correct him. Most High Christ for this.
The water. And also, it's important that as like officers and up, you know what I mean, or we represent Christ and the ISUPK, you know what I mean. So I always wear my jacket or I wear something to show that I'm an Israelite, because that can spark some in somebody's mind or spark a conversation out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And that will lead to you start fishing other brothers and sisters that come into the truth. You know what I mean? Because you look different from the world. You know what I mean? You're standing out. And that's also why I did it. Now he asked me about these other nations. Call, that verse in Judges where it talks about how that God left the other nations to test us. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's like in Judges. I mean, because the brother Kanye, he asked me this question. You know what I mean? What is the purpose of the other nations? Why would God make everybody and decide to pick one group of people out of all of them? You know what I mean? And so this was my answer to him.
Like it's in Judges 3, 1-4. There might be another precept for it, but that's the one that I
So like this is the one I want.
Most High Christ. Let me get to it real quick.
No problem. Take your time. So I'm talking to Kanye, and I say, the Most High left these nations on this earth to test us.
Right.
You know what I mean? To test us.
Right.
You can read it when you got it.
Sir. The book of Judges, chapter 3, verse 1. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them.
To do what?
To prove Israel by them.
Exactly, to prove Israel by them. Now I wanted to get that on camera. You know what I mean? So anybody so nobody can say that I'm making something up. You know what I mean? But this is coming directly from the Bible. You know what I mean? Judges 3:1 says that he's going to prove Israel by them. You know what I mean? So after I went to that, I had brought him to Romans chapter 9. You know what I mean? A very bedrock scripture in the ISUPK. You know what I mean? Romans chapter 9. Romans. I'm gonna get there with y'all. Get my Bible. Romans chapter 9. You know what I mean? Because when people first hear this, right? They're going to say that's not fair. You know what I mean? Why would God do this? Why would God do that? And I have and all of our answers come directly from the Bible. So I don't got to do a whole bunch of explaining. I'll just let the scriptures speak. You know what I mean? I'll let the scriptures talk. And we're going to start at verse 9 and 13. You know what I mean? Romans 9 and 13. We'll talk about the love and hate. I mean, if God really loves everybody, why would he say this? Got it for me?
The book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written.
As it is written. This is in the past. This is in the Old Testament is written. And Paul was reading and teaching out the Old Testament. And he's writing these letters to these Israelites. You know what I mean? Because as it's written, go ahead.
Jacob have I loved.
Jacob have I loved. Right?
But Esau have I hated.
He hates Esau. You know what I mean? Don't shoot the messenger. You know what I mean? Your Christian pastor has to answer to that, because your Christian pastor in the world has been subliminally taught that God loves everybody. But this verse, listen, I don't think I've ever read this verse inside the Christian church ever. The whole time being Christian, I don't think I ever read where God said he hates somebody. But so many times we're taught that he loves. But now the Bible says he hates, right? Now read verse 14 for me.
Verse 14.
Uh-huh.
What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God?
Right. Kanye said that's not fair to do that. You know what I mean? Why would God make them? Is there unrighteousness with God? Keep going.
God forbid.
God forbid, which means hell no. God's not unrighteous. Keep going.
Verse 15.
Yeah.
For he saith to Moses,
All right.
I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy.
He will have mercy on whoever he has mercy on, right? Keep going.
And I will have compassion,
right?
On whom I will have compassion.
On whom he has compassion. You know what I mean? He picks and chooses where he's going to have compassion or mercy on, right? And he chose to have mercy on the Israelites and compassion on the Israelites. Keep going. 16.
Verse 16. So then it is not of him that willeth,
right?
Nor of him that runneth.
Right. No matter what you think you're going to do, you know what I mean? No matter how fast you think you are, right? Keep going.
But of God that showeth mercy.
All right. 17.
Verse 17.
Uh-huh.
For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh.
For the scripture said unto Pharaoh, right? And so, and also while I was talking to Kanye, you know what I mean? Oh, and for those who just tuned in, this is not Kanye West. This is a brother that I met at the Slave, you know what I mean? His name is Kanye. He's one of my co-workers, you know what I mean? And he's asking questions. That's who Kanye is. And Kanye asks about Pharaoh, you know what I mean? And I had the perfect answer for him. This is why I love the Bible. Keep going.
Even for this same purpose.
Even for this same purpose, right?
Have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee.
And that's the exact answer I gave Kanye. Listen, the reason God did all that, he hardened Pharaoh's heart, right? Was because he can show his power in thee. That's why, to show his power, right? Keep going.
And that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
That his name might be declared throughout all the earth. 18.
Therefore, hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy.
Right.
And whom he will, he hardeneth.
Exactly. A lot of people don't understand that understand that side about the Most High. You know what I mean? He's going to have mercy on who has mercy, and he's going to harden his heart on who has hardened his heart. You know what I mean? As we can see in America, has a hard heart. You know what I mean? It keeps going down the drain. You know what I mean? The Bible calls it spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah. God damn. Keep going.
Verse 19. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault?
Right, Kanye. So why? So you asking all these questions. I mean, why can God do this? How can he fall fault with us? Right? Keep going.
For who hath resisted his will?
Who has resisted? You can't resist the Most High's will. You know what I mean? Pharaoh couldn't resist. Babylon couldn't resist. The oppressor can't resist. I mean, the Pharisees and Sadducees can't resist, right? Keep going.
Verse 20. Nay, but oh man.
Oh man.
Who art thou that repliest against God?
Yeah, you can't think like God, man. The Bible says his thoughts are not our thoughts and our ways are not his ways. As his thoughts is high above ours. You know what I mean? We can't think like that. Keep going.
Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it?
Right.
What hast thou made me thus?
Why hast thou made me thus? You know what I mean? And this is a very important part about the Bible and why he made these other nations and how he can choose one group of people over the other. Verse 21.
Verse 21. Have not the potter power over the clay?
God is the potter and we are the clay. The potter has a power over the clay, right? Keep going.
Of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor.
Right. So he made one vessel unto honor, which is the 12 tribes of Israel. He can make us into a beautiful vase. You know what I mean? A nice desktop. You know what I mean? With the best wood in this stuff. You know what I mean? the best clay, we got marble, everything. You know what I mean? I'm not no woodcutter, not like that. So I don't know what the terms, you know what I mean? But there's this special liquid that they use to put over the wood to make it polish, to make it shine. You know what I mean? That's us.
It might be lacquer. I'm not sure.
What's it called?
Lacquer, possibly.
Lacquer.
I'm not sure.
No. But for everybody that knows anything about that, you know what I mean? There's like this special liquid that goes on top of it when it's finished, and you need to polish it to make it pretty. That's the Israelites. You know what I mean? That's what the Most High could make us. And since he's using the clay reference, you know what I mean? As in the ISUPK, we always teach that Israelites can make into a beautiful vase where you can hold flowers, you know what I mean, and look presentable. You know what I mean? But there's also this next part. Keep going.
And another unto dishonor.
And another unto dishonor. So what does that mean? It means if he decides to make the oppressor, you know what I mean, a toilet where you where you defecate in, you know what I mean? Make you into a toilet where everybody just dumps their waste in, you know what I mean? He decided to make you that. Who are we to reply against God? You know what I mean? Because that's what their other purpose is for. And that's just the reality of it. You know what I mean? That God has chosen us for honor and for the heathen a dishonor. You know what I mean? And I know it seems shocking at first because you have to war what's inside your mind to what has been being taught to you and what's being presented to you day after day. You know what I mean? And this is what Christianity does. You know what I mean? We have to break down those doctrines and those imaginations that has been plaguing us for years. Can you give me 2 Corinthians? I think it's chapter 10 and verse 3 and 4. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and 4, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4. I'm gonna get there with you. See, I've never heard the Bible break down that to me part like that. You know what I mean? Have a clay pot, you know what I mean? You made it to a toilet or a beautiful vase. They're gonna be made a toilet. That's wild. That's wild. You got that verse?
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 4.
Right.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
Right. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. You know what I mean? We're not shooting the oppressor. We're not assaulting the oppressor. You know what I mean? We're just reading the Bible and doing what God says. I mean, that's not how we fight. Now, we do believe in self-defense. Don't get it twisted. And I mean, if you attack us, believe we'll have some form of self-defense. But this is not a militia, you know what I mean? And we're going to take over the Capitol, you know what I mean? Like what those Edomites did in January 6th. You know what I mean? That's not what we're doing. We're just going to read the Bible and we're going to pray to the east. You know what I mean? And we're going to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep going.
But mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds.
To the pulling down of strongholds. You know what I mean? And what's that stronghold that's stuck in your mind? Christianity. I'm going to keep reiterating this every single day. You know what I mean? Every single Wednesday class, that stronghold in your mind is Christianity, it's Islam, it's all these other false religions, false doctrines that continue to plague us every single day. You know what I mean? What's one doctrine of Christianity? It's a stronghold. You know what I mean? Eating pork and eating shrimp. They believe you can do that. You know what I mean? And to some people, that's a stronghold. Interracial dating, stronghold. You know what I mean? Was that the end of 5?
Constantly. No, that was the end of 4. Do you want me to read 5?
Come on.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Casting down imaginations.
Casting down imaginations. You know what I mean? You imagining what you think God's saying. And that's where we're going in. And I'm glad Officer Carl brought that out. You know what I mean? The thought for thought Bible. That's somebody's imagination trying to interpret the Bible.
Right.
Most High God says he's going to cast that down.
Yeah, right.
Keep going.
And every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God.
Right. Every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. Now, I got a question for everybody, or anybody listening. What is the number one killer for our people, Our people, meaning blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Take a second to think about it. You know what I mean? You had your hand raised?
Live.
Oh, okay. Take a second to think about it. What you think, brother? Young man, Chris?
Black.
You said what?
Black.
You said black women? That's tough. But nah, that's not it. You know what I mean? Black women are, black people are, black women and black men, we're both in hell. You know what I mean? So it's not just strictly blame it on her. For those of you who don't know, that's actually funny as hell. Can you give me?
Can I take a crack at it?
Yeah.
Is it like high blood pressure, diabetes?
Oh.
Oh.
Listen, I listen. I didn't make this answer up. I watched a class behind it, so it's legit. Give me Hosea 4:6.
Hosea 4:6.
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6.
So one more.
This right here is the number one killer for black, Hispanics, and Native Indian men and women. Black women is crazy.
It's abortion. So
I believe. Listen, I don't fault them for it. You know what I mean? That's crazy. All right, go ahead. You can read it when you're ready.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
For lack of what?
For lack of knowledge.
For a lack of knowledge. That is the number one killer for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because we lack the knowledge. You know what I mean? We lack the knowledge. Now, hold that and give me, let's go back to Corinthians, 2 Corinthians 10 and 5. You know what I mean? So number one killer for blacks, Hispanics is lack of knowledge, right? And what did Paul say in 2 Corinthians 10 and 5?
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 5. Casting down imagination and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God.
Right, against the knowledge of God. Because we believe that we know something about the Bible.
Right.
You know what I mean? All knowledge of God, we don't care about the commandments. Because what Christianity has taught us. You know what I mean? There's a reason why Christ said that that there's no divorce. You know what I mean? There's a reason why he said that. There's a reason why he said don't get an abortion. There's a reason why he says don't smoke weed and do illicit drugs. You know what I mean? There's a reason why God said not to interracial marriage. There's a reason why God said, what the Most High said, to not I'm trying to think of all of them, man. I know there's so many of them. To not have false idols inside your crib. I mean, there's a reason why God said that. But our knowledge goes against Christ. And can you give me the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, and we can go to verse 7, I think. You know what I mean? Because our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So how do we start to get knowledge? You know what I mean? We all know that it's the law, statutes, and commandments, but let's see what the Bible has got to say. When you're ready, you can read it.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
Damn, read that one more time for me.
The fear of the Lord.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, right? And we just read in Corinthians that we're going to cast down imaginations of everything that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. Because while we're inside the Christian church, there's no fear being taught. You know what I mean? Not that I know of. There's no fear being taught of the Most High. We think God's just like this this happy-go-lucky dude. You know what I mean? And he just sits around all day, forgiving everybody for being a sodomite, forgiving you for being a drug addict. You know what I mean? Forgiving us for whatever sin we like to commit. You know what I mean? We just go, we say, God, forgive me. You know what I mean? You go pray, ask for forgiveness, then you do it again. You'll get baptized, get dunked in water, then do it again. Then next year, you go baptized, get dunked in water, then you go sin again. You know what I mean? Till you hit, now you're 50 and 60 years old. And now you said to yourself, man, it's fine to give my life to Christ permanently. You know what I mean? And now you up in the church at a 60-year-old man or woman, you know what I mean, trying to teach the young people about all your mistakes, you know what I mean? But you didn't change your life at all. They're going to do what you got to do. They're going to do what you did as a child, you know what I mean? And that's what we can't do, you know what I mean? That's called being a hypocrite. Can you read that verse for me again? Slakia.
Khan, sir. The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
That is the beginning of knowledge, man. It's fearing the Most High, feeling the Most High. That's where we have to start. You know what I mean? It's fearing the Most High is the beginning of knowledge. You know what I mean? And that's what we're taught inside ISCBK. You know what I mean? One of our, I'm not sure if it's like when we're cheering and we yell Kwam Yasharala, you know what I mean? And say stuff like that. And we say, it's the Father we fear. It's the Father we fear. You know what I mean? We're teaching that fear is the beginning of the knowledge. You know what I mean? Me personally, I'm afraid to go have sex with a whore. You know what I mean? I'm afraid to smoke weed. I'm afraid to have sex with a heathen. You know what I mean? I'm afraid of doing that stuff. Why? Because I fear the Most High God. You know what I mean? All right, we can drop that. Let's go to for our next verse. Oh, Salakia. Matter of fact, yeah. Let's go to Ephesians 6. Ephesians 6. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because, you know what I mean, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we fear a lot of things beside the Most High. You know what I mean? We fear the oppressor more than we fear the Most High. We fear our women and our children and what they're going to think about us. You know what I mean? Afraid to tell people the truth. That's what we fear more than obeying the Most High. All right, let me get to Ephesians 6 real quick with y'all. Ephesians 6. Where's that verse at? Oh, it's like I got it. Can we go down to verse? It's like, y'all. Let me get there real quick. I'm using my computer right now. Verse 12, Ephesians 6 and 12. Ephesians 6 and 12. I mean,
the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
Right. So we wrestle not against flesh and blood. You know what I mean? Like, we're not fighting another person, literally. You know what I mean? Right. Keep going.
But against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
Those rulers of darkness is inside the Christian church. You know what I mean? And one of the main people we're fighting against, or an example, I should say, is Martin Luther King. You know what I mean? He's an example of principalities and powers that we have to fight because he was a high member in the Christian church that taught us to be to integrate with the oppressor. You know what I mean? He got rid of black everything. You know what I mean? There's no more black businesses being made. There's no more black schools being made. There's no more I shouldn't say no more, but it came to a real slow speed in our black businesses. You know what I mean? He destroyed all that. You know what I mean? And of course, we all know his dream. You know what I mean? He would say, I have a dream that little black girls and white boys and white girls and black boys will all be together and come into one thing. That's all it was. It was just a dream. You know what I mean? And that's also what I want to link to back in 2 Corinthians chapter 10. You know what I mean? casting down imaginations. Martin Luther King had a crazy imagination. You know what I mean? He's imagined all this inside his head that this is actually going to work out. You know what I mean? He actually thought that we can coexist with these people while we're under them. You know what I mean? He actually thought that. But in the end, if anybody knows one of his famous quotes, he goes on to say that that he's integrated his people into a burning house. He's integrated his people to a burning house. Why did he say that? Because he finally realized that what he's been teaching us isn't reality, and it was all just a dream. Can you read that verse from the top?
Sir. The book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood,
Right.
but against principalities, against powers,
Right.
against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Right. So that basically saying is we're battling against the systems of this earth. You know what I mean? And also one thing during Passover, when we was talking about our prayers, right? We were shouting out our prayers. We was praying against the Aryan nation. We was praying against Amalek. We was praying against Planned Parenthood. You know what I mean? We especially prayed against them sodomites, man. I think in general, Mayaka Allah, he said the alternative lifestyle like 3 times, and I agree. You know what I mean? Because that's where all the spiritual wickedness happens. The Christian church allows for anything to go down. You know what I mean? They allow sodomites to be in there. They allow you to smoke weed. You know what I mean? They allow you to allow you to divorce each other. You know what I mean? To put you on child support, and they promote abortions in our young women. You know what I mean? All right. So my next verse, can we go down to let's go to Jeremiah in chapter 16, right? Chapter 16, and we're going to go to verse 14. Salakia. Chapter 16.
You said Jeremiah?
Yeah. Come on, sir. Jeremiah 16. Yeah, we can start at 14, right?
Sir. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord.
Right. So the day is coming. Keep going.
That it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
Right. So if some of y'all who don't know, you know what I mean, the Israelites was saved from the bondage of the Egyptians, right? And it was such a great and mighty act that was written down and was passed down throughout our generations from time and time again. But now God is saying that we're no longer going to say that he brought us out of the land of Egypt. So what's he going to say? Keep going.
Verse 15. But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north.
Damn, from the land of the north. Now imagine, what continent are we on right now? We're on North America. You know what I mean? So it's no longer going to be said that we came from that he saved us from the land of Egypt. In our future generations, we're going to say that the Most High delivered us from America, from North America. You know what I mean? Keep going.
And from all the lands whither he had driven them.
Right. And from all the lands where he driven us, man. So the Israelites going to say, man, he delivered us from the land of Mexico, from the captivity of Mexico, and from Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? The native Indians are going to say that same thing too. You know what I mean? We're all going to say that. Keep going.
And I will bring them again into their land.
Right.
That I gave unto their fathers.
That he gave unto our fathers. Our fathers being Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
If I could.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be careful so we don't get no strikes. But whenever was the small hat ever brought out of the land of the north? Ever. Like, what land of the north did the small hat come out of from the north by the Lord and be put in their own land? That didn't happen.
Not at all.
Good night.
They was actually given the land. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was.
By the north.
Listen, Edomites is wild, boy. All right, keep going for me. Read that last part.
And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers.
That they gave it to our fathers. You know what I mean? This was promised. That land that Officer Carl was talking about. You know what I mean? Where the Palestinians and the little hats, they're fighting right now. That's really where we're supposed to be. That's where we're supposed to be. You know what I mean? And so you ask yourself, how are we going to get there? It's very simple. We're going to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? Our fight right now is keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. It's fighting sin every single day. You know what I mean? Because we walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. You know what I mean? And this law is spiritual. You know what I mean? So we have to fight our flesh to not eat pork, to not eat shrimp. You know what I mean? To stay on track. Go ahead, verse 16.
Verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers.
Right. God says he's going to send for many fishers. Keep going.
Saith the Lord. And they shall fish them.
Right. That's what we're doing now. You know what I mean? That's why we have classes every week, every day. You know what I mean? And that's why we go out on the street corners every Saturday, Lord willing. You know what I mean? Because we're trying to fish brothers to come into the truth. Now we're trying to fish brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? And we're looking in the Most High once brothers and sisters, right? That have an appetite to serve the Lord. You know what I mean? He's looking for that brother or sister that has a hunger that can't be satisfied anymore with the garbage that's being force-fed to us. You know what I mean? They're hearing what they're saying. I know y'all probably hear what I'm saying. Now I mean, it's probably going one ear out together. But listen, man, I know there's some of y'all out there that's tired of voting every year. You vote for this president, you vote for this this state representative. You know what I mean? They make all these promises. You know what I mean? And nothing ever happens. I know y'all tired of racism. You know what I mean? How can I put this, man? Just the blatant hatred that we face as a people. You know what I mean? I know y'all tired of it. You're looking around like, man, when will this ever stop? You know what I mean? I know you're tired of the poverty that we grew up in. You know what I mean, you're tired of the poverty. Man, I've seen some crazy stuff throughout my life. You know what I mean? And I'm tired of that. I know we're all tired of sodomites, man. That stuff has got to go, man. Has to get up out of here, man. The colorism, you know what I mean? I was really meditating on colorism today. You know what I mean? Thinking about the light skin versus dark skin fights. You know what I mean? Like, that's such a huge plague on our people, man. That really screws up our people's mind, man. And they're just pinning us against each other when really we're all the same. We're all the same. You know what I mean? I know y'all tired of the confusion. I know a lot of people ask day after day, why are we going through this? You know what I mean? Why is this happening to us? You know what I mean? Why were we brought on slavery? Why don't we have a family that remembers our goddamn history? You know what I mean? Why is our history stripped away from us? You know what I mean? All right, keep going.
And after will I send for many hunters.
Damn right. The Most High God is going to send for many hunters. So after the Most High is satisfied with the amount of brothers and sisters that come into the truth, you know what I mean? Then he's going to send for many hunters. You know what I mean? He's going to send for many hunters. And what's going to happen?
And they shall hunt them from every mountain.
And they shall hunt them. You know what I mean? Because the first part of this lesson, I was talking about the warfare in our minds. You know what I mean? And after we conquer the warfare in our minds, now We're actually going to do real warfare. You know what I mean? And this is what Hebrew Academy is training me to do. You know what I mean? I stood for Hebrew Academy. You know what I mean? This is what it's for. You know what I mean? So I can become a hunter, right? So we can hunt them. Keep going.
And from every hill
Uh-huh.
and out of the holes of the rocks.
Like the holes of the rocks, man. We're gonna go snatch them all up, man. All those Edomites hiding in their bunkers that's up in the mountains in there. You know what I mean? And they're building these forts underground. You know what I mean? And they think they're safe from the wrath of God. To I show up and kick in their door. You know what I mean? And we take everything that they got. You know what I mean? It'll be a nice living space too. Because you know they're gonna have all the solar panels, you know what I mean? All the water filtration systems up inside there. You know what I mean? That's when we fight. Carnally, of course. You know what I mean? That's when we fight carnally. Is there more to that?
No, it just goes to the next verse, 17.
All right, so like you can drop that. All right, can you give me Romans 15:4? Brother Shaw. I mean, so after the Lord is like Christian, then he's going to send hunters. You know what I mean? And remember, we're talking about wars, the warfare in our mind and our heart. You know what I mean? This is how we get to freedom. This is the only path. You know what I mean? The path has, listen, this world has to be destroyed for us to be on top.
The book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4.
Right.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Right. This Bible is written for our learning. You know what I mean? So, and of course, I want to reiterate the fact that that the beginning of knowledge is the fear of the Lord. You know what I mean? And we have to do these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? And also in Corinthians, when I was talking about how we have to cast down our imaginations and everything that exalted itself against the knowledge of God. You know what I mean? These commandments are put in place because God knows what's best for us. You know what I mean? He knows what's best for us. So that's why we do these laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep going.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
That we might have hope, man. That's the whole purpose of doing this. You know what I mean? I'm trying to give you, brothers and sisters, some hope out here because it might seem hopeless. You know what I mean? We might be going through day after day. You know what I mean? Trying to figure out what to do next. But listen, you come to class, you know what I mean? And you get your name, you do your 90 days, you get your name, you be cleaned up, you know what I mean? You become new. And with that being said, I'm gonna pass the class over to precinct officer for all. All right, got it. Can you move the camera too? So it's easier. Nah, I forgot. I forgot. Let's start over here.
Yeah, if it don't look right, you can just move it towards me. Yeah. All right. So this is the ISUPK security announcements. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they and learn. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is a commandment, which can be found in Numbers 18 and 21, and also Malachi 3, 8 through 10, which means a tenth in Hebrew, which is ma'ashor. It's 10% of every penny that the Lord gives you increase. Also, we do have a priest fund, which is a free will offering. It's not mandatory. Greatly appreciated. We even say if you want to donate a bottle to the priest, that would be greatly appreciated. Also, up and coming holy convocations. What do we have next? The Feast of, right now we're in the Feast of Unleavened Bread. The leaven should have been removed from the household before you left for the Passover if you are out of town. You should be eating unleavened bread by sundown. Our up and coming holy convocation after that, slot it. We take a look at the list. All right, we have the Feast of First Fruits, which is Saturday, April 28th, 2024. So that's one that's coming up. If you want to be a trooper in the school, remember to wear all black boots, pants, shirt, headband, war scarf. With that being said, Meta Israel Amayim, which means to stand. Amayim Shabbat. Amayim Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatum. Yajnatah. Saul, we're going to turn to the sisters to give them a courtesy salute. Sisters, stand. Amayim. Meta Israel. Amayim. Meta Israel Amayim Shabbat. Amayim Barak. Shalom, Yahweh Shemar, Adon Ba'ashem Yahushua. Yajnatah, class dismissed.